Alrighty, here we go. Battle City season continues. We have got Strings, who I believe was knocked out in the first round of the Battle City Cup. And he is up against Rex Raptor, who this match was held because I didn't want two Rex Raptor duels in the same day as he played yesterday. So who do we pick out of this? Out of the two decks, I would probably go Rex Raptor. In all honesty, Strings' deck isn't that great in real world. It was cool in the anime and was cool to watch in the anime, but in the real card game it doesn't hit that hard. But we will see. Alright, Strings has drawn Mother Grizzly, so that may give him an advantage to get that Revival Jam out as well. He's got a Nightmare Steel Cage as well, along with a couple of throwaways, his Liquid Beast and his Slime Toad. I went with those sort of water liquidy monsters for his deck, as he likes to use Humanoid Slime and Wormdrake. There's Granadora. Okay, Mother Grizzly is played down and Nightmare Steel Cage is activated, so Strings will have a couple of extra turns to kind of get his field set. I think that's what he's going for there. Alright, what's Raptor got in response here? There is a Giant Rex. That's not a bad card. 2000 attack, only 4 stars. It can't attack directly, but it can be very useful for sweeping the field. So with the effect of Nightmare Steel Cage on the field, even with Invigoration, Raptor still can't attack. There's another Humanoid Slime for Strings. Alright, draw phase for Rex. Strings just went with a face-down defense, and it's just a bit of a standoff, I guess, until that Nightmare Steel Cage goes away, which it will this turn. Okay, it's a bit of a slow-moving match, but alright. Strings has finally decided what monster to play down on the field. He can really only defend. He's not going to be able to get through Giant Rex. Rex Raptor now, he's 2 cards in his hand. And he too is having a bit of a thing. Oh, there we go, Miscellaneousaurus. 1800, so Rex is now going to start to be able to sweep Strings' field here as well. Alright, Mother Grizzly's effect is active, so Strings could bring forth Revival Jam, but you can't really get the most out of Revival Jam unless you've got those supporting magic and trap cards to go with it. And there we go. So Revival Jam has been attacked, and Strings did pay to have it come back on the next turn. Alright, Strings is going to have to get... He's going to have to draw something and something soon. He does have humanoid slime on the field, so he won't lose all of his monsters, but I guess he still wants his revival gem in case he does draw those supporting magic and trap cards, which is sort of what his deck strategy is themed around. He does have Slifer the Sky Dragon. I did put that in Strings' deck, despite Yugi being the one to have it for most of the tournament, and the reason being is because without Slifer the Sky Dragon, Strings' whole deck strategy kind of just doesn't work. He's got finite cards. Is it finite cards or infinite cards? Magic card that will allow Strings to have more than 6 cards in his hand. He needs that along with Slifer the Sky Dragon, otherwise his deck will never be competitive. Right, he's just used Reload. Oh, and there it is. It is infinite cards. Makes sense because finite is restricted to a number. And there's Amoeba as well. Strings does have a creature swap, so he can get Amoeba to Rex's side of the field. But still, it's just a big standoff here. Rex with a 2000 attack, which can't get through that humanoid slime. Okay, there goes Slime Toad. If you played Forbidden Memories, that Slime Toad was in it, but it wasn't called Slime Toad, it was called Frog the Jam. There is a few cards out there in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which were renamed. Some of them were renamed because the actual title of the card was a little bit... had to be changed. I think one of them was... what was it? Can't remember the exact name. Oh, let me give it a quick search. I actually can't remember. There was a Yu-Gi-Oh card, which the title of it was. No, I'm trying to Google it, but I can't find it. I can't even remember what the card's name was, so now it's just going to leave everyone wondering what was that card. The name of the card referred to okay, there's Mystical Space Typhoon. I was just watching what Rex was playing there. Yeah, I think the card name revolved around something of death or something, and they decided to change it just because the wording of the card was a little bit... maybe a little bit too full on for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, to be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh! At times, if we, especially in the GX anime, like, Yu-Gi-Oh's a dark series sometimes. When you rewatch the anime, like, when you watch it as a kid, it kind of goes over your head a little bit. It's a lot like the jokes in SpongeBob. Like, there's a lot of innuendo jokes in SpongeBob, which anyone who's watched SpongeBob as a kid and then rewatch the same episodes as an adult will go, I see what they did there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was very much the same. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like super dark at times, but it's a good show. I rewatched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime with, like, I've seen the Duelist Kingdom, like the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! That many times, and I still, every time I rewatch it, I feel like I'm watching something new again for the first time. If that makes sense. Like, you realize something about it that you didn't realize before. Okay, there's Jam Defender. Too bad that Strings doesn't have his actual revival jam anymore, but he does have 2 of them in his deck. I had to double up on some of his cards because Strings' deck was actually one of the more challenging ones to make because he didn't really use a lot of cards. He had a lot of cards in his hand, but he didn't really play any of them. Anyway, Rex Raptor has just played Wasteland, and that is now going to let Giant Rex destroy the humanoid slime. So now... oh, never mind, there's a remove trap anyway. And now Strings is in trouble. Raptor has flipped up Baby Cerosaurus and Megazowler. That'll also be a 2000 attack. And, oh yeah, Strings is going to lose a lot of points here. He's attacked with Giant Rex. Remember, that can't attack directly as per effect. But 4,700 points is coming off of Strings now. He's going to be left with 1,200. And he has got nothing in his hand that is going to help him. And I don't think he's going to draw anything that is going to help him. And that is certainly not going to help him. Remove Trap will not do it. So Granadora is really the only... And Strings summons it. It will give Strings 1,000 life points. Then he'll lose 2,000 when it's just... Oh, Trap hole. Okay, so... Strings is going to gain 1,000 life points. He is now going to lose 2,000 life points because Granadora was destroyed, and he's down to 200 points. And he didn't even launch an attack. Well, this one is concluded. Rex Raptor is going to attack and pick up the victory from here. Good win. Alright. Let's set him up one more time. I think Strings' deck, just looking at its deck, he's got a lot of his anime cards. It's very true to him, but he just doesn't have a very strong deck. I think Seeker is going to have a very hard time winning any duels. However, you never know. Bakura did defeat Taya in one of their matches. Taya won the next two, but Bakura did pick up a sneak win in their duel. That happened just before this one. Alright, Strings is going first in this one as well. Alright, Giant Rex again is in Rex Raptor's hand. He's also got that Trap Hole as well. Okay, there is fake twin-headed Thunder Dragon, also known as Two-Mouth Dark Ruler. I call it fake twin-headed Thunder Dragon. It's got the same design, and it's got the two mouths, it's got the head. It looks very similar to twin-headed Thunder Dragon, except it's a different color and it's a lot less powerful. And if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, twin-headed Thunder Dragon is like ingrained into your soul. Twin-headed Thunder Dragon. Is that Granadora? Again, Strings has just had... He's pretty much losing move in the last duel, played against him in the very opening of this duel. Jeez, what are the odds? But yeah, players of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories will have a very special place in their hearts for Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. It is one of... Actually, it's... Unless you include Metal Morph, which is a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, I think. From memory, I'm pretty sure you could fuse Zoa into Metal Zoa. Wait, no, that wasn't in Forbidden Memories. I might be thinking about Duelist of the Roses for that, actually. But Metal Zoa was in Forbidden Memories. Oh, maybe Metal Morph was in it. Yeah, it definitely was, because the AI in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, if there is Yami on the field, Zoa will get to 3100, and I remember because they will fuse Zoa into Metal Zoa and actually make it 100 points weaker. I have seen them do that, so it must be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Alright, there is Mario Kutai. Amoeba was sent to Rex Raptor's side of the field, so he did lose 2,000 life points along with Creature Swap as well. Okay, Little D is played. I'm guessing that Strings played that because he may have nothing else to play and he has to try something. Rex Raptor knows that it was 2 Meth Dark Ruler on the field. And now 1100 off. Well, Strings has done some more life point damage this turn, but he really needs... He needs something for defense, and he needs it quick. Another face down defense, and it looks like this may be a very easy win for Raptor. He can summon Mega Zowler this turn as well. There's an Anthrosaurus. So, yeah, as I was saying, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon is pretty much the strongest fusion, with the exception of Meteor Black Dragon, which wasn't very common. You would have to use a Red Eyes Black Dragon and a Meteor Dragon to actually fuse that. Otherwise, you could just replay Meadow Mage, literally the low-level Meadow Mage, not the high mage, the literal low-level Meadow Mage. You play him enough times, eventually he will drop a Meteor Black Dragon. He will also drop Skull Knight, Dark Magician, Gaia. He drops really, really good cards for some odd reason. Alright, Raptor's got a defense. He's got a good attack, although Strings does now have Humanoid Slime on the field. 2000 defense, almost like the last duel. It would appear they are at a stalemate again. I might actually this week... oh, raise body heat. That will go very nicely with either Giant Rex or Mega Zowler and be able to get over Humanoid Slime. I am keen this week. I might actually do a run through of Forbidden Memories on Duelist of the Roses on my channel. I have got a full game playthrough, and to this day it is one of my most successful videos. I uploaded it very early in my channel. It would have been, I think it was a little bit over 2 years ago that I actually uploaded that video. My Forbidden Memories story run. I just did a full run of the story, all the duelists. Do you remember at the end of, this is for everyone who's got Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, sorry, not Forbidden Memories, Duelist of the Roses. Everyone that's got Duelist of the Roses on their PS2, or I think it might have come out on Xbox as well. Anyway, anyone who's got that game, remember how you could input the code? Like when you would pass the game, actually when you would pass Forbidden Memories, you got a code at the end of the game, and that code actually worked on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses for some reason. Even though the game came out like, they came out 3 years apart, the code you get at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, you actually can use that code on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses. That's really, really strange. But anyway, when you defeat Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, you also get another code. And you use that and you can get a card. It's usually a good card. It's like Aqua Dragon, but there was 15 different ones. So it was like a little bonus for when you pass the game. However, so many years later, someone on the internet actually managed to find something in the game's code, and it came up with all these codes which they probably use for testing of the game. And literally, you enter the code and you get the card on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses. That's why I've got so many cards on it, because I found a spreadsheet online and it's got literally every card that can be bought with the code. And the duel has just ended, and I was doing a series on Duelist of the Roses, and what I was doing a run with every deck, but it was specific type. So from memory, I've done Aqua, I've done Spellcaster, I think I might have done Warrior as well, and I think I might have done Dragon. I was going through each type of deck one by one. I might resume that series to have another little bit of an add-on with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Anyway, that's enough for me. As we were watching this duel along, I was watching along with it too, but it really was a very one-sided match. Rex Raptor picked up a pretty easy win. Let's see who's playing next in Battle City. It is going to be Rex Raptor, Kaiba and Ishizu. And that'll be an interesting match because they had an anime duel, which Kaiba won. But we will see if any of Ishizu's moves can be played and flip Kaiba's graveyard with his hand or his deck. Deck and graveyard. Anyway, I'm going to head off. I'm going to get these all produced and uploaded for tonight. Well, technically midnight for my time zone, but for all of you who are leaving your comments, greatly appreciate all of you. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, keep well, farewell.